From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Eastern Regional Finals. The Hampton Crabbers taking on the Phoebus Phantoms. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole, and along with Bob Hintz, we welcome you to Darling Stadium for tonight's finals of the Division 5 between the once-beaten Hampton Crabbers and the once-beaten Phoebus Phantoms in the game that sends one of these two teams to the semifinals of the state.
Well, and the other team goes home and plays no more football. So, this is a game that, they played at the first of the year. Phoebus won 27-7. That means nothing now because they continued on and played. Now they made it to the regional finals, and they want to go up north and play whoever's going to win that game up there. So this is a game that both teams are really looking forward to, and you don't have to get either one of the teams up for this game. And I tell you, the coaching staffs either. I think they're ready to go.
Well, this is one of those rare occasions when Phoebus and Hampton play twice during the same season. Phoebus beat Hampton this year for the first time since 1990. Can they do it twice in the same season? Mike Smith is a great motivator, and his coaching staff, we've talked about them for years, they know how to get a team ready for a game. Well, like you said, they don't need to be great motivators for this game because this Hampton team is going to want to prove something tonight. But the big question is going to be, can they prove it? Because this Phoebus team has been very good all year long, with the exception of the very first game against Warwick, and they certainly atoned for that last week.
Oh, they really did, Tim. But I think that the key for the Phoebus Phantoms tonight is what they have done since that first game, and that is they have controlled the line of scrimmage. They have got a great running attack going with McWright, and Brown will relieve McKnight at the tailback, and then you got Xavier DB, who, when he carries the ball, will pick up 4 or 5 yards at a clip, and if he's not carrying the ball, he's blocking. And this is one of the things that they have done since that first game, is they have controlled the line of scrimmage. They did against that first game in Hampton. They basically controlled the line of scrimmage, and they eat up the clock. And that's something else, that if you got a great running game going, then you're going to hang on to the ball. You're not letting the other team get the ball. That means you score. They don't have as much time to score. So, those keys, I look at what Phoebus, they've got to contain Wyatt, because Wyatt is a very good quarterback in that not only he throws the ball well, and we saw him really progress throughout the year, but man, can he run the ball. I mean, he's a tailback as a quarterback.
And as you're talking about Phoebus, it brings to my mind what you've described them, and they're a balanced team.
Yeah.
And you get to this point and you advance because you have a balanced team. If you're a one-dimensional team, if all you can do is run the ball but your defense is weak, or if you got a great defense but you have no offense, well, you're just not going very far. But that's what Phoebus has developed ever since that Warwick game. They have put big points on the board when they needed to. They've kept the other team off the scoreboard. They do it with a running attack if they need to do that, and they can pass the ball if they need to do that.
Well, we saw that the passing game come into effect last week when they sent out one receiver, and that was Philip Brown, and Ronnie Hendricks dropped backs and throws about a 50-yarder, and he catches it down on the 2-yard line. I mean, it just blew everybody's mind because they were running the ball. But, again, Warwick brought 9-10 men right up on the line of scrimmage. Well, that opens you, makes you susceptible to the long pass. And make no mistake about it, Ronnie Hendricks is a good passer.
Oh, yeah.
And he has really progressed throughout the year. And his statistics, if you look at the statistics passing the ball, he's probably one of the top in the district.
Wow.
So, Hampton can't say we just got to concentrate on there. I think what Hampton's going to do, Tim, is they're not going to allow the long pass. They're going to say, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us in the trenches. And, of course, then when Hampton gets the ball, you and I have seen Mike, they come up with a game plan. They've got some wrinkles, and they got some things that'll be a little different. So, you got to be prepared for anything and keep your mental mistakes at a minimum.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Hampton. Now, you've got Stephen Wyatt, who's progressed very nicely at quarterback. Again, those of you that have followed the season, you know that he's predominantly a running quarterback, but he can pass the ball. And he's developed that, and he can do that. He's got Alvin Banks. He's got other support in that backfield, far too numerous.
Solomon Bassett.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Darylyn Fenner. He's got a real good balanced offense again. Right. So here's why Hampton's 10-1 for those same reasons. Now the Hampton defense. Hampton defense, always a signature of a Hampton high school team.
Well, and they're the type of team that we have seen year in and year out that will allow you get yardage until you get to the 20. And then when you get to the 20, they will stop you. And it's like you bend, but you don't break. That has been a signature of Hampton in the past. Can they do it tonight? Because you've got the running backs of McWright, Adibi, and Brown, and then Hendricks. I mean, you've got some kids that can run the ball, so you've got to stop. If you're Hampton, you got to stop the running attack.
Well, you can't key on one player.
No, you can't.
All right now we're going to go back in time. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
Well, Mike, first of all, congratulations on a fine season. You're co-district champions, which is not bad. And I don't know how many, 20-some years we get going to the regionals. You got to be happy with the kids.
The kids have played very hard this year. I think they've achieved far more than they were expected to, at least, in preseason picks. They've done quite well so far.
Playing a team for the second time. I know you did that with Kickingham a couple of years that you'd run into them. And then how hard is it to get your kids up to play a team the second time? Is it hard to get them up?
Well, I don't think so. I think both of these teams are probably looking forward to the challenge of each other. Because they beat us pretty good the first round this year. We've played them a couple of times before, twice a year. We played Kickingham 2 or 3 times, and last year we played a Heritage twice. So I guess just, another game that you've got to get ready for, whoever you play, But they're a good football team, and we know that we've got to play well. And you expect that at the regional finals.
What do you look as the keys for the game tonight for the Hampton?
Well, we've got to slow McWright down some. Of course, they throw the ball well when they have to, but he's an exceptionally good back, They block well up front. They play good defense. They're tough defensively, so they're tough on both sides of the ball. We've got to play well on both sides of the ball also, so, and we've got to play well in the kicking game. So we've got to play a solid football game. I think both teams do in order to win this game.
Okay. Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Good enough. Let's go back to Tim.
Well, when you talk with Mike Smith, he's going to downplay a lot of stuff. He's not going to give you a lot of information. But like you said before we went to that interview, he's probably got some wrinkles in there. He's got his teams are always well prepared.
Oh, you got a coaching staff that's been with you a long, long time. Like both of these coaching staffs have been with the respective head coaches quite a while. You come up with some things because they almost on the same wavelength as the coach, and they can come up with things during practice. But you're not going to do a lot of different things. I don't look for Phoebus to do anything different than what got them here. I don't look for Hampton to do a whole lot of things different. They may try a couple of wrinkles to see if they can get a big play, score quick, because you know that if Phoebus gets the ball, they're going to grind it out. They're going to grind it out. They're going to grind it out. And if you're Hampton, you got to say, okay, we got to score. If we can get the ball first and we can score, then we put the pressure on them. So, another key of this thing, not only the kicking game, but who's going to get the ball first for the first kickoff. And that's important, I think.
And, you talk about the Phoebus team and the Hampton team. It doesn't get any better than this.
No.
One of these teams' season will be over with in about 2 hours. Another team will be going to the Northern Region to advance to the state semifinals. And I'm happy to say that you and I can't lose here because either one of these teams is going to be a great representative from the Peninsula District.
Oh, and if you look at the Peninsula District as compared to all the other districts in the area in the state, there's been more state champions from the Peninsula District than anywhere else. And it's because of the good kids they got down there. They got good athletes, but if you don't have the coaching that will bring out the best in the athletes, you're not going to win state championships. And I think we have 2 great coaches for tonight's contest.
Well, we've got a good night for it. It's supposed to be a chance of rain late, but we understand it's going to hold off. It's a cool night, not a lot of wind. It's going to be perfect for one of these teams to advance to the state semifinals. Let's go back in time one more time as we had a chance to talk with head coach Bill D. of the Phoebus Phantoms.
Well, Bill, first of all, congratulations on just an outstanding win last year. I mean, you erased all doubts whether Warwick could repeat what they did the first year. You guys just annihilated them.
And we played a very good game. The kids wanted to come out and prove something, and I think they did. We didn't play well in that first game, the district game, and kids, we're a different team this time of year.
Well, and that's always, it should be the case. You should have improved all along, and you guys have. Now you're playing Hampton for the second time. Is it tough getting prepared for the team the second time around?
Well, you know, I think they've got a little more incentive on their side, but you know, we've been in this situation before, and Hampton has stopped us from going anywhere. So I think it's a lot of pride's on the line. You know, I think it's great to have 2 Hampton City schools in a game like this, and I think it'll be a heck of a game. I think both teams might have a few different wrinkles because they're so used to playing with each other, against each other.
Well, and that's another thing. I mean, it's not that you just meet them in the regionals; you meet them year after year after year after year. What are the keys tonight for Phoebus to win the game?
Well, I think always the keys is to hold on to the football, protect the ball, play good defense, and have a sound kick game. And if we do those things, we're always in pretty good shape.
Good enough. Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's go up to the booth for tonight's starting lineups.
Welcome back to Darling Stadium as the Phoebus High School Marching Band has just performed the national anthem, and the Phoebus team is getting set to come on. Hampton has yet to come out of their locker room. Well, I see some of the team at least down there in the end zone.
Yeah, I don't think they went back in the locker room, Tim.
And you are looking at the Phoebus side of the stadium. Tonight's game is brought to you by Zooms, with 14 friendly neighborhood stores to serve you. And Pearls, located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. And in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue. Give them a call at 827-4670. Well, Bob, there you see the Phoebus team at the center of the field. They are psyched for this game. We talked with Coach D off camera, and he was telling us something that it makes sense, but I was intrigued by the fact that he said it, and what he said was he thought Hampton had a greater incentive to win this game because of the revenge factor.
Well, and I think they do in a sense, and you have to look at it from that standpoint that maybe Bill is using a little psychology on his team, saying, look, these guys don't need any incentive to come up. We're going to have to work on make sure that we're up for the ball game. So that may be just a little reverse psychology that he's using there.
Of course, the other side of that coin is there's incentive for both of these schools because the grand prize is waiting for the victor if they can get past next week's game.
That's true.
But in any event, in case you were living in a cave, the Phoebus Phantoms lost just one game. That was the opening game of the season to the Wark Raiders. They lost that game 10-7. Hampton's only loss was to the Phoebus team by a score of 27-7 back on the 12th of October. So these teams know each other. They know each other very well. They're longtime rivals, and they'll be set and ready to go. Let's go down to the center of the field right now for the pregame ceremonies. And referee Larry Turlington.
Okay, you guys are the team captains. This is a championship game. Play like champions. And the whistle blows. Make sure everything is stopped. But you also got to know that the whistle does not stop the ball. The ball makes the ball dead. Okay? No mouthing. You talk to your own players. We don't want to throw anybody out. We don't want to be in that situation tonight. Okay? All right. We've already had the coin toss. Phoebus won. They're going to receive at this end. You guys are going to kick that way, so turn them around. Phoebus won the toss. They're going to receive. All right, guys, let's have a good one.
All right, there you heard it. The Phantoms will receive. They will be going from left to right, and they'll have first possession of the ballgame.
That's reminiscence of last week. If you look at your officials, Tim.
Larry Turlington, as you just heard him, the referee. Umpire is Lee Richardson. Sergio Jimenez is the linesman. Terry Krug is the line judge. Billy Toller is the field judge. And the back judge is Herb Plummer. Actually, it's Billy Towler. I said Toller, but it's Towler. Yeah.
Whatever you say.
He won't speak to me because I happen to know Billy pretty well. I just mispronounced his last name. He's going to kill me.
Yeah, well,
I know him as Billy.
Tim did it, Billy. We'll make sure we know right ahead. We will give you the starters for in just a second. Tim, some of the people can't get out to the ball games, and they're very thankful for Channel 46. We'll have some, what we got now coming? Phoebus offense. Here we go.
We can't hear you very well, Scotty, just as a matter of fact.
Okay, anyway, Tim, a lot of the people can't get to the ball games, and they're proud, and we're proud to bring the best in high school sports to them, and we'd like to thank John, Cheryl, and Barry Roberts for their faithfulness in watching cable Channel 46.
All right, the kickoff is in the air, taken at the 6-yard line. And out to the 18-yard line is the return. That is DJ Parker, number 7, returning the kickoff.
Here we go with the Phoebus offense. At center, we got Pavlik at the guards. King and Braxton tackles. Bowles and Bunch. The ends Harrison Blunt. Flanker is Brown. The quarterback is Hendricks. The fullback Adibi. And the tailback McWright.
We'll give you the the Crabbers defense in just a moment. Initial play of the game is a handoff to Xavier Adibi. He'll pick up a couple of yards to about the 20-yard line. And for you now, we have the Crabbers defense to start tonight's contest. And the tackles for the Crabbers tonight will be Stephen Williams along with Charles Jones. Creighton and Johnson are the ends. The linebackers are Banks Jr., Wilson Banks Jr., and Darrell Fenner. The outside linebackers are Callis and Schuler. The corners are Richmond and Brown, and your safety is Ramar Lassiter. Second down at about 8. Quick pass left side, completes at the 18-yard line, 25-30. Across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. So the Phantoms get the first down of the ball game.
Tim, that's that flanker screen that they've run a couple of times. It takes a good blocking on the side to get out in front of that, and the Phantoms did a great job.
Gain to the 32-yard line, so a pickup of about 12 yards on that play. First down for the Phantoms, just underway from Darling Stadium. Game taped on the 23rd of November, 2001. Handoff to McWright. Travis McWright tries the left side. He crosses the 35-yard line to almost the 36.
And you can see right now that Hampton has maybe made a couple of adjustments in their defense, Tim, because they are not allowing a whole lot of yardage, although there was a good 3 yards picked up on that one.
So Travis McWright with better than 1,450 yards during the regular season, tacked on a big 170 last week against the Warwick Raiders. Second down at about 7. Hendricks decides to try and run with the ball, and he'll pick up a yard, maybe 2, to about the 38-yard line.
Tim, he was looking, I think he was looking for Shadid Harris, and he was not open. And he did a good job of pulling it down, and let's run with it. Don't make a mistake, especially down at this end of the your end of the field.
Brings up third down and almost 5, a short 5, a long 4, whichever is your pleasure. Good crowd on hand tonight. I'm happy to see both sides of the stands almost filled to capacity. Great crowd for a great game. On the option, this is Hendricks. Hendricks gets the outside and pitches to McWright. And Travis McWright has the corner. He's to the 50 to 45, and he's finally dragged down at the 33-yard line.
Well, Tim, he just ran out of a couple of tacklers that had him, but what a great job by Ronnie Hendricks of holding the ball to the last second on that pitch.
Perfect execution of the option play. Hendricks felt the pressure, and at the very last second, pitch to Travis McWright and all the way down across the 35-yard line in Hampton territory, 28 yards on the carry. This offense is clicking.
Ronnie Hendricks actually followed Adibi, crossed the line of scrimmage, and then broke it outside and then made the pitch just as he was going to get hit.
You can't draw it up any better than that. McWright gets the ball, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage by the middle of that defensive line. What a beautiful job by the defense, led by big 70, Stephen, don't miss any meals, Williams.
Man, I tell you, he ran right into Stephen Williams, and Stephen Williams was ready for him. He actually lost about a yard that time.
Well, actually, there was no gain. It was, unless they changed the marker over there, the ball after the first down was right there. So they keep messing with our line markers over there, but I've registered that. Swing pass left side, and losing his footing is Philip Brown, so he will actually maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, depending on where they ruled his knee went down.
Well, Tim, if he hadn't have slipped, he'd have probably picked up at least 5 yards.
He had some running room. But, of course, in high school football, once you're down, even if it's without contact, you cannot get up and run again. 8:40 left here in a scoreless first quarter. Phoebus with the initial possession of the ball game, and they've driven to the Hampton 34-yard line. 3rd down and 10. Big 3rd down coming up for both teams here. Double wideouts to the near side. Hendricks fakes the draw. Now throws, got a man wide open over the middle. That's DJ Parker. He'll be very close to the first down. Ball came loose after the play. They're going to rule him down as forward progress, so no fumble on the play, to the chagrin of the Hampton Crabbers. And this may be a first down.
And it is first down. What a nice pass, but what makes your heart beat when you're a Phoebus Phantom to see him juggle the ball like that. We've got, we're missing Andre Mattingly tonight, Tim. I think he might have appendicitis. We're not sure. And Mike Nowinski is going to be working our slow motion for us.
23-yard line, and McBride is trapped in the backfield on a beautiful defensive play by Wilson Banks Jr.
Man, he came out of nowhere, did a great job of closing on the runner.
Loss on that play, back to the 21-yard line. Check that 26-yard line. And here's a replay of the previous play. This is the play that had the fumble involved. See if you can see what, and he had the ball there. See, he was wrestled to the ground. In the end zone, got a man open. Touchdown, Philip Brown.
Oh, wow, did he make an adjustment to that ball? No flags on the play, but Tim, he had to make an adjustment. The ball, he looked over his right shoulder. The ball was thrown over his left shoulder, and I didn't know that he was going to get up with it, but great catch by Philip Brown and a nice throw by Ronnie Hendricks.
23 yards. No, it was 27.
27 yards.
27 yards was the yard. 27 was the yard line. Because he had lost yards. He lost yards on the first play. The extra point try is no good, wide to the left, so that could be important later on. However, right now the Phantoms have taken the opening kickoff and driven the length of the field with a 27-yard pass completion, beautifully thrown by Hendricks. Again, you must have heard me last week talk about he doesn't do anything real flashy. He's just thrown perfect passes ever since I said that.
You better quit saying that. Pearls has been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpet, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical. Custom designed for your needs. Pearls is located in 15 North Mallory and Phoebus. Give them a call to 722-1907. That's Pearls and Phoebus.
All right, the 11 plays, 82 yards, took 4 minutes and 32 seconds for the Phantoms to get on the board. Barnes relatively short. This is a live ball, and it goes out of bounds, but very dangerous kick, because once that ball's 10 yards down the field, it belongs to anyone who gets it.
That wants it. Tim, we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams today, and those players receive a plaque and a shirt.
Well, but here are the Crabbers on offense. Wilson is your center. Small and Williams are the guards. The tackles are Allen and Creighton. Terry Pugh Jr. is your tight end. The flankers, Will Jennings. Andre McClone is your wideout. The quarterback, Stephen Wyatt. Solomon Bassett is your starting fullback. And Alvin Banks is the tailback. We'll get you back into that.
That's all right. I got plenty of time.
So the ball went out of bounds, and the Crabbers will take it where it went out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That's where they'll start, trailing 6-0 here in the first quarter. Handoff In the backfield to Banks, and he is trapped for a loss on the play.
Here you have the defense for the Phantoms. You got tackles, Micah Littlejohn and Shadid Harris. Stands at DB and McWright, Quincy McWright. The inside backers are Dixon and Blunt. Outside backers Lee and Hall. The corners are Brown and DJ Parker. And Marlon Ellis is your safety.
No gain on the play, maybe even lost a half a yard. It's a second down and almost 11. Wyatt in the backfield, throws incomplete. That one was intended for Solomon Bassett, and it was thrown well ahead of him as the pressure is getting to Stephen Wyatt, the Phantom offensive.
He just took a real short, maybe three-step drop, and boom, they were there. Well, we will pick a player of the game for each one of these teams, and that player receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from an engraving ink located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalter at 596-8850, and I'll tell you about the shirt in a minute.
Third down and almost 11 for the Crabbers. Out of the gun, Wyatt has a man open the middle, completes the pass.
That's Jennings, I think, Tim,
Yep,
81.
Will Jennings. I'm sorry. Don't get ahead of me now. That's
Okay.
Pugh. That's not Jennings. That's Johnny Pugh.
Oh, that's Pugh. Okay.
Yeah, you got the wrong
Johnny
team.
Pugh Jr.
Johnny Pugh Jr.
So Johnny Pugh Jr. has the ball at the Hampton 49 for a first down. Their first down of the ball game. And this is a short gain as out of the backfield was Alvin Banks getting the call.
The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods. They're located in Pocosin. They meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. Tim, I could use some coffee, Beantown coffee.
Who has that?
I think Zoom's got it, and then maybe we can get him to send over pizza or some subs or something.
Sounds good to me. We had a stoppage of play here. I'm not sure what the call is. We'll let referee Charlington tell us.
Did Kellen say you wanted 2 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts?
Yeah, one for each arm. 1 dozen for each arm. So there was a penalty flag, encroachment against Phoebus. So the Crabbers benefit from the 5-yard penalty, and it'll bring up a second down and about 3 now. Ball marked at the Phoebus 44-yard line. 5:19 remaining in the first quarter. Wyatt just got the handoff, and it came loose. And let's see.
It's a point to Phoebus.
Phoebus got it. Let's see who came up with it.
Looks like, who is that, 89, Tim? 89, yes.
I couldn't make it up. That's
Quincy McWright.
The brother of Travis McWright.
Banks.
Alvin Banks. Watch the replay here and see if he never really had the
Right.
ball.
I don't think that he took a step when he was looking for the ball, so you know he didn't have it when he came off.
What happened was the defensive line, one of the linemen got in so quickly that he actually hit Stephen Wyatt as he handed it off, and that caused the fumble. Travis McWright gets the call after the turnover. That's the first turnover of the ball game.
Well, Bill D teaches, one of his big things that he teaches young men is the concept of there's no me in team. And he says team stands for T for together, E for everyone, A achieves, M more. So together everyone achieves more. And that's one of the things that Bill preaches with his kids.
Over the middle, we've seen this pattern before. This is Phillip Brown. And Brown is in Hampton territory all the way down to the 37-yard line.
Well, I tell you, that is a nice play they run. That's just almost like a slip screen to the wideout, and then he goes back against the grain or against the flow of the defense. Watch the replay here.
He just comes off the flanker position, just comes across the middle like that, and he's got all kinds of blocking in front of him. It's been a very effective play for the Phantoms this year, and Phillip Brown is a very effective player. So another first down for the Crabbers at the Hampton 37-yard line.
I think it's the Phantoms that got the first down.
Did I say Crabbers? Excuse me. Hampton's on defense, huh?
I
Phantoms.
will do that more than once tonight.
McWright, and McWright is hitting the backfield, but bounces off a would-be tackler and then struggles to get to the sidelines and may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but boy, did he run a long ways to get nowhere.
Well, I tell you, he ran into Fenner. Fenner did a good job coming from his linebacker spot and just put a hit on him and knocked him backwards, and he's very strong and actually ran out of another tackler, but he got back to the line of scrimmage instead of losing a couple yards.
Saw a nice exchange of sportsmanship between McWright and Wilson Banks Jr. as they both kind of patted each other on the back after the play. This is McWright again, and he's got some running room across the 30 down to the 28-yard line, close to a first down. He'll be about a yard short with third down coming up. So Travis McWright, as he has all year, the workhorse for this Phoebus team. But I'll tell you who complements him so well, and those who follow as you watch the replay, is Adebe.
Right there, he made the block on Fenner.
Yep.
Adebe was the lead blocker, and you saw the hit Fenner put on McWright just before that, and then we got a stacked backfield.
And a quarterback keeper, and that'll easily get the first down for the Phantoms. Ronnie Hendricks keeps it and moves the chains at the 24-yard line.
He just gets behind Alan Pavlik and his guards, and he'll find a little hole and just say, go forward, fellas, and I'll pick up the yard.
By the way, speaking of Alan Pavlik, we wanted to mention that in the graphics that are put up for the starting lineups, we are using the spelling given to us by the school roster, which is Pavlik, which is incorrect, and we want to make sure we've corrected that. It's Alan Pavlik, P-A-V-L-I-K. As McWright, that's Travis, to the 20. He picks up about 4.
Well, we're sorry we didn't pick it up until just tonight. We were told about it, and we did get it changed for tonight's on the graphics, so our apologies to the Pavlik family.
Always want to get it right. It's never our intent, so we're glad when you bring it to our attention. Here's the replay of this last carry by Travis McWright.
And you see the lead block again that time.
It's nice when you got a man the size and the skills of Adebe. 2:13 remains in the first quarter. Phoebus 6.
Well, now Phoebus has got 2 blockers in the backfield.
And McWright again gets the call, and he is to about the 18-yard line. It'll be third down and about 3. Game moving along very nicely as we are inside of 2 minutes to go.
You talked about the decorations in the end zone, Tim. The PHS at one end with gold stars and HHS at the other end with black stars outlined in red. And then our sideline markers out on the field have got arrows, which really help you.
McWright across the 15-yard line, very close to the first down. His forward progress will be the determining factor here. And I'm thinking from this vantage point, Bob, that he just made it, according to the spot that I think we're going to see. And Larry Turlington is
he's going to take a look at it. Watch the replay. Oh yeah, Tim, he was well over past the 14-yard line.
I don't think he got as good a spot as he could have.
No. We want to recognize our crew, our director Scotty Bowers, graphics Andy Foley. By the way, audio is.
He made the first down. I just thought I'd stick my neck out.
Okay, I know you would do that. And graphics Andy Foley, audio is Mike Nowinski, who is also doing instant replay. And you got another one. Engineer is Don Charaus. On cameras, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Browers, and Ron ESPN Baton. And on our cable technicians, Juan Brown and Desiree Lewis.
So
Did I get everybody?
You got it. So the never in doubt first down. For the Phantoms at the 14. They lead 6-0. The handoff to Phillip Brown coming out of the tailback position, and he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. He is stormed under by a host of crabbers led by 75 Travis Creighton.
Well, Tim, he had 2 blockers in front of him, but he broke it outside where he had no help and didn't pick up anything and maybe lost maybe half a yard. But watch the replay. See the people going straight, but there was nothing there either. So he saw that it was plugged up in the middle, so he tried to bounce it outside.
Want to correct myself, Larry Callis made the initial contact, number 32, and then was wrapped up by 75 Travis Creighton. Second down and about 11. Into the middle of the line goes Adibi, and he gets nothing as the Crabber defense. We talked about it in the pregame show. It's always nice to be on target. You get inside that 20, and Phoebus is going to have a tough time moving the ball as a rule. The only time they've been able to do that now in this game, of course, was with the 27-yard pass.
Well, we got a third down, but this is four-down territory. There's no way that
well, they could kick a field goal
I don't know if
attempt.
they'll go for a field goal. They didn't get their extra point in, so they might just try to pick up well, we're going to, first of all, we're going to talk about it.
Well, we're going to not only talk about it, we're going to have time to do it during the change of ends of the field because we have played 12 minutes from Darling Stadium.
Has this been a quick quarter or what?
We kind of expected it would be. After one, it's Phoebus 6 and Hampton nothing. Well, it's great to look across the field and see that shot. The stands filled with fans. We love to see it.
Tim, Zooms is going to give an award to the senior football player on each one of the teams from the Hampton this year who have demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting. I think it's the 28th, the last Wednesday of this month. And we would like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continued support for not only WHCS, but also our student athletes and those young men that we will be recognizing from the Phoebus Phantoms. Number 9, Marlon Ellis. From the Hampton Crabbers, number 1, Aaron Whitehead. From the Kickingham Warriors, number 52, Tommy Hammond. And from the Bethel Bruins, number 54, Jonas Watson. Congratulations to those young men. The winner of this game will go north next week and will play the winner of Mount Vernon and James Madison. So we don't know where we'll be playing because depends on which one of those teams win.
After one quarter, the Phantoms, Ronnie Hendricks, by the way, perfect in the first quarter, 5 of 5 for 70 yards passing. And the Phantoms ran 20 plays in the first quarter to just 5 for the Crabbers.
The Crabbers got that one first down and then turned the ball over, and we'll see whether the Phantoms can take advantage of that turnover. That was one of my keys, Tim, is not making those mistakes and having turnovers.
This drive is the drive following that turnover. Hendricks has plenty of time, now decides to run with the ball inside the 10 to 5. Touchdown in the end zone.
How did he get through? Oh, my goodness.
That looks to be about an 18-yard run by Ronnie Hendricks.
And that was closer to 19. Tim, it looked like he was going to get hit at about the 5-yard line, and he made a move and just slipped by a couple of tacklers and dove into the end zone. Watch it. I think we'll see a 2-point conversion. Watch, nice fake this way. Now watch it right here about I guess it's about the 5-yard line, and I thought he was going to be stopped.
They will go for 2. Hendricks play action, looking to the corner. Over the middle, it bounces off the hands of his intended receiver, and that will fall incomplete, and our score will remain 12-0. But the Phantoms, 2 possessions, 2 scores.
And 6 of those points come from a turnover. Call Pearls for your drapes. They're custom designed by interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do a free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. President is John West and the Vice President is Rita Barker.
11 plays, 57 yards. The Phantoms used 5 minutes and 21 seconds after the fumble by the Crabbers, and they now make it 12-0, having missed both of their extra point tries. The winner of this game will be the Eastern Regional Champion of Division 5, and they will go north, as we've already mentioned, next Saturday afternoon. And hopefully, whichever team wins, you will follow them to hopefully the state championship. Kickoff after the touchdown is
I think it
returned
was
by
Alvin Banks. Was that him? What?
Yeah, Alvin Banks.
Mike Dixon, number 12, making the stop. That was unusual for this kicker for the Phantoms. Usually it's a short kick to the side. That was a little further down the field.
Phoebus with 7 first downs to Hampton's 1 so far in the ballgame. This is just the second time the Crabbers have had the ball on offense. They'll start from their almost their 38-yard line. Stephen Wyatt carries to the 30.
Well, that was a design quarterback keeper. He turned and faked like he was going to pitch the ball to Alvin Banks, Tim, and then went off the left side, but picked up maybe a yard and a half.
You see Wyatt going over to the sidelines. He will communicate directly with Mike Smith, who will call the play for him. He'll come back to the huddle after the gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Double wideouts to the near side. You have Pugh along with Brown. And don't worry about the slot, because Xavier Adibi wrestles Wyatt to the ground for a loss of about 3 back to the 27-yard line.
Actually about 4, Tim, because he had gained a yard. Well, I guess it's about 3.
Let me do these. Okay?
Yeah, but I thought he was further back.
No, they were out to the 30, lost to 3.
But where he threw him down was at the 25. There, right there, he's at the 25. Look at the replay. Lousy spot. 4 yards.
Out of the gun, 3rd and long. Wyatt over the middle, completes the pass, but it'll be short of the first down, as making the grab was Andre McClone, but he will bring up, his catch will be short by a good 2, almost 3 yards, and it'll bring up a 4th down and a potential, never make an assumption, kicking situation for the Crabbers.
Wyatt had plenty of time that time to make that pass. Good protection.
They thought about for just a moment. It's 4th down and a long 2, but Aaron Whitehead will in fact come on, and he will be in deep punt formation.
Well, you can always look. You got Fenner, number 44, back there as one of the blockers. A direct snap to him.
Whitehead's kick takes a Phoebus bounce, and the Crabbers finally stop it as it bounced back a good 8, maybe 10 yards to the the Hampton 48-yard line. So a very fortuitous bounce for the Phantoms.
It's easy for you to say.
No, it's not. And they'll actually mark it at the 47-yard line. So the Phantoms get great field position.
Let the fans know that number 23 for the Crabbers, Anthony Williams, who has started all year, hurt his knee in the game last week against Norview and is out. And he will be missed in that backfield. Very fine ball player. Had a bone broken around the knee. They went in and put a couple pins in it and fixed it. No ligament damage, which is good news. So, but he is out. We got a penalty here.
We do, for illegal substitution against
the
the
Phantoms.
Phantoms.
Ball substitution against them. Still 1st down.
So
against them.
Yeah, that's right. Them guys.
Them guys.
There you see the scoreboard and the time left here in the first half. 12 for the home team, the Phantoms. Of course, they're the home team as a result of being the Peninsula District champions.
Well, a higher seed because they were co-champions.
Right. Well, I was getting to that, but you mentioned
Don't stop in the middle. What, are you breathing tonight?
Jumps on me like a, frog on a June bug.
A what?
Frog on a June bug.
Frog on a June bug.
All right, so the Phantoms get back 3 of those yards. And the ball marked just across the Hampton 49-yard line. But the Crabbers very fortunate to be in this contest. They were trailing 10-0 with about 2 minutes to go at Norview, and scored 2 touchdowns in about 2 minutes to extend their season. DJ Parker can't handle the bullet that was thrown by Ronnie Hendricks.
Well, it was in his hands. I mean, he put it where he should have put it.
He had some mustard on that one.
Boy, he did.
So that stops the clock with 8:55 to go, and it makes it 3rd down and almost 12 for the Phantoms. The Crabbers really need a stop here as you watch the replay.
I was talking to a friend of mine as we have a timeout that went to that ball game, and he said, I don't know where Mike Smith has that horseshoe, but he said, I'd like to borrow it when I go to Vegas.
There you see some of the Phoebus faithful. Not so bright, but at least they're faithful. I'm
Now, why
I'm
would
just
you
kidding.
say they're not surprised?
Well, 'cause
their
it's-
mamas may be watching this game.
And
Tim
they're-
has said that now.
And I'll defend my statement because you see the rest of the fans here bundled up.
Oh,
It's
that's
chilly
what
out
okay, you're talking about their attire.
Exactly. Their lack of it, their lack thereof.
Jeep Cherokee, Virginia Tech.
Yep. No, but I think that's great. I love to see the fans get into
I
it.
do
They
too.
were here a good 45 minutes, almost an hour before the game. They've been standing out here. Their mamas will be tending to them later. They'll be giving them cold medicine and wrapping them up. But I love to see that kind of enthusiasm, and I congratulate the Phantoms fans for being so faithful this year. All right, 3rd down and about 11. Hendricks has some time. Got a man wide open at the 30-yard line. He's completed to Phillip Brown, and Brown is wrestled out of bounds at the 31-yard line, but that'll be enough to move the chains.
Tim, where did he come from? Was he lined up outside? Because he was nobody. There wasn't somebody within 10 yards of him.
And Hendricks did an excellent job of finding him.
It may have been just a miss.
Well, here, he's just at the bottom of your screen there.
Got me
Got you a cramp. I was going to say you jumped up. I know what that's like. Back to the live action. This is McWright. Travis McWright is across the 25 to about the 23. You going to be all right there, big guy?
I don't think I can sit down for a while. I'll just stand up and do the ball.
All right, well, we've done that before. Now, Mark, the ball is just short of the 23-yard line. A gain of about 3.5, almost 4. Let's call it 2nd down and a short 7, long 6. Phoebus 12, Hampton nothing as we're at the 8:10 mark of the first half. This is McWright, and McWright has running room, and he may go. He is in. Touchdown.
And we got a flag, Jim. It may be a face mask.
From the 23-yard line, Travis McWright.
Tim, if you remember, that's what Mike Smith said, that we got to stop Travis McWright. He's an excellent runner.
You're right on the call. Face mask is the call as McWright approached the goal line. The defender just grabbed for anything and came up with the face mask. Of course, they'll refuse that penalty and keep the touchdown. Larry Turlington will tell us. Here's the replay.
Right there. It was inadvertent, Tim. But Phoebus is going to call a timeout because I look for him to go for 2 again.
They want to make sure they've got this set up correctly. They're wise enough to know that even with, at this point, an 18-point lead, you don't want to give Hampton any chance to get back in the game. So you want to put the points on when you can. There's see Bill D talking with the official. I'm not sure what that conversation is about.
Well, you want to know where is the penalty going to be. Is it going to be on the extra point? Is it going to be on the ensuing kickoff?
Well, is there going to be a penalty because you refuse it since you took the play? Yeah. See, there's no penalty because if you take the penalty, then you would give up the touchdown, I think.
Well,
it wasn't a dead ball. It wasn't a dead ball penalty.
No, it wasn't. It was a live ball penalty. Good point. Well, that's 3 possessions for the Phantoms, Tim, and 3 scores. If you're Bill D and the coaching staff, you got to think that we've got our game plan working.
It would sure appear that way, but I would not go and flip the channel right now. Because,
Stay here, fellas.
Hampton is a never-say-die team, and they'll fight till the last minute of this ball game. I can count on that. That was a 6-play drive, 47 yards. It just took 1:33 for the Phantoms to make it 18-0. So now the Phantoms do line up to go for 2. And they give the ball to Adibi, and Adibi is in for the 2-point conversion.
There's the horse that we talked about in the pregame.
So the 2-point conversion now extends the lead to 20-0. After missing the first kick and then missing the first 2-point conversion, here's the replay of the 2-point conversion. And Adibi just followed the blocking on the left side, and his offensive line did as they've done so well all year. They just made a great big hole, and he followed them through. So the Crabbers find themselves down now by 3 touchdowns. And they're going to have a momentum change here pretty quickly, Bob. They truly do need a score before halftime to get some kind of momentum change.
Well, and it's going to affect the psyche of the young players, Tim. It would anybody. You can play better than that. What do we have to do?
Again, the short kick taken at the 19-yard line. This is Will Jennings.
That's Jennings, number 11.
You knew he was out there somewhere.
I knew he was going to carry the ball sometime tonight.
So they mark his return to almost the 27-yard line. 8-yard return. And that's where the Crabbers will set up with 7:58 remaining, and they do have all 3 of their timeouts left. Phantoms have used 2 of theirs, but they've been as successful with their possessions as you can be. You get the ball 3 times, you score 3 touchdowns. That's 100% anytime you want to chalk it up.
Yeah, I don't know what the percentages are, how many times you have the ball and how many times you score, but
doesn't get any better than that.
No, it sure doesn't.
Wyatt trapped in the backfield, got away from one tackler, but will not get away from another as he'll end up losing yardage once again as that defensive line has just been dominating. 87.
Shadeed Harris, Tim. We've got to, again, we apologize for mispronouncing his name.
Watch the replay here. Wyatt can't find anything to the left and cuts it up the middle, and Shadeed Harris makes him pay for that decision as they mark a loss of a little more than 1. Let's call it 2nd down and 11.
The last time the Crabbers had the ball, Tim, on that 3rd down, the receiver just didn't get enough distance downfield, a good pass, but did not pick up the 1st down, and that really hurt him.
This time the pass is intended for McClone, and he is overthrown on the play. Covering was Marlon Ellis, number 9.
Tim, Wyatt took a hit when he threw the ball, and that may be why the ball was not on target. But, I mean, as he was stepping and throwing in the ball, he took a shot.
I do want to talk about the Zooms again. We didn't really talk about them much in the first quarter, but, yeah, that Citgo gas, the prices these days is down there where you get that quality and you don't pay the big bucks prices.
Right. You got enough to go inside and pick up a pizza or a sub or something.
Some potato wedges, fried chicken. This is Stephen Wyatt, and Wyatt is again stopped for a loss.
And this again, time it's Shadeed Harris and Xavier Debe. Xavier Debe got his ankle, and as he was tripping, Shadeed said, "I'll catch you." No, I won't.
Another loss of a yard on the play for Wyatt, and so far the Crabber offense has been totally throttled by these Phoebus Phantoms. Whitehead is back in deep punt formation. Quick snap. His kick is high, not particularly long, and it takes, again, a Phoebus bounce back to the 39-yard line. So, again, the Phantoms will have great field position with almost 6.5 minutes remaining in the half.
Now, you didn't hear much of the interview with Coach Mike Smith, Tim, but he talked about having a good kicking game, and that has hurt him on both punts. The kicking game has hurt him. Phoebus has ended up with ball in Hampton's territory.
And it's not been because of a win factor, because there's virtually none. It's just been not the greatest of kicking. There have been high kicks, good coverage kicks, but not very long. And then on top of that, the Phantoms have really gotten some good bounces to the ball. It's almost as if the Phantoms are living a charmed life right now. This is Travis McWright. Picks up a couple of yards off the left side. Phantoms would be real content to take about 6 minutes and 18 seconds to stick another one in the end zone here and go to the halftime.
You got that right. Travis Creighton, Tim, number 75 for the Crabbers, met Travis McKnight just as soon as he got across picked up a couple yards.
2nd down and 8 for the Phantoms. Hendricks again gives to McWright, and McWright stopped initially and then may have gotten another 2 yards, this time marked at about the 34-yard line.
Marcus Mills, number 65, hit him in the backfield, and he spun out of his grasp, but then he ended up being in part of the tackle anyway. Good hustle.
I want to take this opportunity to hopefully wish everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, belatedly so, but wonderful time of the year to spend time with family and friends. Hendricks on the option. He keeps and he cuts it up, and he's got a first down at about the 26-yard line.
Tim, I cannot remember doing a Phoebus game this year where we saw Ronnie Hendricks run as well as he is on that option play. And they really don't play the option that much, that he keeps the ball, but he's finding a crease in there and saying, I'm going to pick up the first down and keep this drive alive. And just, I'm impressed.
Yeah, Bob Killen makes a good point. I'll bring it up in just a moment here. First down for the Phantoms. This is McWright. And McWright bursts into the open territory across the 15 down to the 14, and that'll be another first down, a gain of almost 12 yards. Bob's point was a good one. The Crabbers are keying on a DB and McWright so much that that's giving the opportunity to Hendricks to find the opening.
Well, and that's a good point as we watch McWright here, because he will break one, but you got to key on the horses. You're right. You got to assume that he's going to pitch the ball. And you're right, it's opening up for, but Hendricks is also finding the spot to pick up that yardage.
He is playing as well as he's played all year long. There's no question about that. This is McWright, and McWright is down to the 6-yard line. So the Phantoms just keep pushing the ball down the field as we hit the 4:20 mark in the first half. And the Phantoms are knocking on the door again. That was not a first down. It was a gain of almost 9. McWright, 16 carries, 103 yards in the first half. He's
My
just phenomenal. This Phoebus team is just...
And what has his longest yardage been?
Well,
20 yards?
Yeah, maybe. 16 carries. This is close to the goal line. The Phantoms say touchdown, but the officials say no. They say the ball was down inside the 1, but it is a first and goal for the Phantoms.
Well, Tim, I look for a quarterback keeper here. This is what they have done before. It's a safe play, and you just get behind your big guys and you say, let's go.
Hendricks will do just that, and
he didn't get it.
He lost the ball. I believe he might have lost the ball. Let's see. They're going to stop the clock with 3:32 remaining. Stephen Williams is holding the ball up. They're all looking for it. Stephen Williams says, I've got it over here. So what's the call? Can you see Stephen Williams in the picture?
Well, if you watch the replay, Hendricks went forward, Tim, and then dropped down on his knee. Well, once he went on his knee, then he is down.
If he had control of the ball when he did that, and that was the big question.
We don't have a review, but you're right. Stephen Williams was hot because he ended up with the ball.
Well, there's Xavier, a DB, in for the score. Here's the one before that. You see the ball? There's the ball on the ground.
Right. The ball
did
come out
before he went down. Watch this. We'll play it back for you even slower. That is a loose ball.
See, the ball
on the
is
play.
down.
Yep. And that ball is loose. Now, they can say anything they want, but Stephen Williams is going to come out of the pack with the ball. So the Crabbers on the wrong end of that call, it would appear at least. On to try the extra point, and it's blocked. So the extra point attempt by Jason Mickle is no good. He's had kind of a rough night.
And that was number 87, looked like Jack Francis that made that block. Is that 87? Yeah, I think it's 87.
If we can watch that replay again, Scotty, of the previous play where the quarterback sneak resulted in what appeared to be a fumble. I don't know if we still have it or not. But I thought I saw the ball come out. Now, I will grant you, it may have been ruled that a Phantom recovered it before Stephen Williams eventually got it. But after they were all sorting through that pile of players trying to figure out who had the ball, Stephen Williams is over here holding up the pigskin saying, I've got it right here.
It's like you have a turkey dinner.
Here it is. No, this is the
that's the touch-up. You have a turkey dinner, Tim, and Steve Williams says, I got the leg.
38 yards, 9 plays, 309 as the Phantom offensive machine has just been infallible. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. Barnes' short kick again taken by Jennings at the 23-yard line. Jennings across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. But again, the officials, I will not say there was a wrong call because they're closer to it than we were. And they may have ruled that before the ball eventually got to Stephen Williams, a Phoebus Phantom had gained possession, but there definitely was a fumble on that play.
Well, you know, what I thought happened was that his knee went down, and then he lost the ball. But on the replay, you could see that the ball was out before his knee went down. So you got a good point there.
All a moot point.
Yep.
Hampton has it at their 30-yard line, trailing 26-0. Wyatt over the middle, completes it to McClone, and McClone has a first down at the 42-yard line, almost the 43, and I believe that's just the second first down of the ball game for the Crabbers.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Tim, but that was a Hampton's going to have to get something going here. They can't get the running game going, so you got to open up the passing game to spread that defense out a little bit maybe, and then you could get some running in.
Young man that I happen to know, and you would know him when you see him. Well, I'll get to this point in a minute. Wyatt on the option keeps it, and he is going to be close to a first down again as he is out to the Phoebus 47-yard line. Talking with a young man who was talking to another guy who knows a guy, but they were talking about how the Crabbers during their practice for this game, and again, I don't know how accurate this is, I'm just giving it to you as a supposed tip, were practicing passing a lot because they knew they were going to have difficulty running it. But they haven't had much success either way.
Well, that time they picked up a good 11 yards on a run, but they've got 3 wideouts.
Looking to get on the board before halftime. This is Banks. He's one of the best on the peninsula. He does a good job. He's all the way down to the 32-yard line.
All of a sudden, Hampton has found their offense. That's the first time tonight that the Crabbers have run the option play.
Here's the replay. Alvin Banks with a very fine effort.
Oh, he just ran between 2 would-be tacklers.
So the Crabbers trying to get something positive to bring into the locker room. We're down to 2:21 remaining in the half. Hampton down 26-0, but never, ever gives up. And this is one thing Bill D will be sure to tell his guys as Johnny Pugh Jr. makes the grab, and that'll be another first down inside the 20.
What a nice pass that time from Wyatt. Man.
So the Crabbers trying to get something on the board. They do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so the time is not a big factor here. First down inside the 20. Real quickly, we'll show you the quick pass.
Now watch this, about a one-step drop, Tim, and then boom, right on the money.
Back to the live action. On the option again, left side again. Banks again with good yardage down inside the 15-yard line. So he picks up 5.
And he ran out of a tackler that a Phantom hit him at the line of scrimmage, and he made a spin move and got away and picked up.
But you know, a natural tendency, Bob, is when you would get up 26-0, you start to say, ha, we got this one. We're there.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
No,
and you know and I know that these Crabbers, and they're not laying down.
And even the Phoebus players, as a timeout has been called, even they know it. But it's just kind of a natural tendency to say, man, we came out, we've had the ball 4 times, we scored 4 times. Hampton is struggling. We got him. We got him where we want him. And just that little lack of an edge.
And Bill D is over there saying, get that edge back.
You got it. and Mike Smith is over saying, yes, now I'm going to get that edge. I'm going to get it.
Going to get it. You're going to let us get it.
Yeah, and, you know, Hampton last week struggled all game long. They hadn't scored a point. This is a potent Hampton team, hadn't scored a point with 2 minutes remaining in that game with Norview, a team they beat 40-0 in the regular season.
Right, first game of the season, yeah.
So, you know, Hampton never quits, and neither does Phoebus team, but Hampton is going to go into the locker room. Now they're going to hopefully get a touchdown or something out of this drive to play off of, but they're going to go into the locker room, and they're going to be reminded that they are Hampton, and you just don't quit. If they need to be reminded, which I doubt.
Well, I don't think they have to be reminded, but I know that the coaches are going to make some adjustments that they always do.
Always do. All right.
A score would be very advantageous to the Crabbers because they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Wide open, just off the fingertips.
Wide open. Nobody was on that young man.
That's Pugh again, and he was wide open. The ball just off the mark a little. Johnny Pugh Jr., a junior, had the ball on his fingertips but couldn't bring it down, and that was a good-looking play by the Crabbers. Watch the replay. You're going to see Stephen Wyatt here just fake and then throw.
Well, Tim, I thought it was going to be a run or the option play.
Well, and that's what they wanted Phoebus to
Right.
think as well. 3rd down and 5. Minute 24 remains in the half. Wyatt on the option to Banks. Banks had a little difficulty getting a hold of the ball, and he'll struggle for about 3, and it'll bring up a crucial 4th down and about 2 for the Crabbers.
I'm
brings up
sure
the
they're
question
going to
now.
call another timeout, Tim.
Well, they've got one more at least. The scoreboard showed Phoebus with none. I think they took off a timeout that Hampton had called a moment ago and charged it to Phoebus. So let's set it up for you. There's a minute 6 remaining. It's 4th down and a long 2 for the Crabbers. They have to get inside the 10-yard line to keep the drive alive. They need a score desperately, and unfortunately, I'm sorry to see there's a little bit of rain coming down. We've got a free season of no rain until this particular game. I guess you can't.
The whole month of November has been no rain, and almost all of October. We're so dry.
There you see the crowd. It's not raining hard, and it's not even raining here in the press box at all.
And I noticed that. I was dry. I was wondering. I'm looking around. Where's the rain?
Yeah. But hopefully the rain will hold off in its intensity, because I told Braxton it would not rain. All right, they're going to go for it on 4th and a long 2. And this is Banks, and Banks has got the 2, and he's got a touchdown.
Nice call. Everybody thought it was going to be a pass.
12 yards, almost 13. Let's call it 13. Here's the replay, and this was just determination by Alvin Banks. He was going to get in there.
2 tackles he just kind of ran away from.
So I got to tell you, if you're Bill D, even though you still have a comfortable lead, you didn't want to see that happen before halftime. The extra point try by Whitehead is up, and it is good. So the Phoebus lead now is sliced to 26-7 with a minute and 1 second remaining in the half. So Alvin Banks scores from almost 13 yards out. And that was a nice looking drive by the Crabbers, and they really moved very effectively down the field. So the question will be, can they do that in the second half?
Tim, they started, I think, around the 30-yard line or something, didn't they?
I believe it was a 70-yard drive. If I remember correctly, they did start at the 30. And it was a good job of running and passing, the kind of offense Hampton's been doing this year,
Yeah.
but not well until we were just into the later stages of the first half.
Well, and what we saw during that drive, too, was like a play and a first down, a play and a first down, a pass and a first down, a option and a first down. They were picking up good positive yardage on just about every play they ran.
That's what it was, 70 yards, 7 plays, 2:18 was the time. So they averaged 10 yards for each of the plays. Whitehead's kick is a high one, and it's fielded at the 26-yard line by DJ Parker. He's hit but not down. He gets to the outside, and then he's finally thrown out of bounds rather emphatically. Fortunately, no flag and no harm. So it'll be very interesting to see what effect this late score here in the first half has on this game.
I think Phoebus still has one timeout, Tim. I thought he was down there, but he wasn't down. He just spun away, and nice, steady move.
Mark it at the 29-yard line. The Phantoms probably.
Oh, they must have said his knee was down back there then. Or is that where he went out of bounds?
I thought they must have ruled him down back there. Hendricks keeps, and the Phantoms will be very content to just wear the timeout. See if we can figure out just where he would have been called down. They have the 29 right there.
Right there. See, I thought his knee was down. Yeah.
They must have ruled it. So a gain of 3 by Hendricks. Clock moving with 25 seconds remaining. And Hendricks just takes a knee. According to the scoreboard, Hampton still has 2 timeouts remaining, and they could call one here, but they choose not to if the scoreboard timeout is correct. And apparently it is not something Hampton is of mind to do, because they're going to let the clock run out here. And so we've played one half rather. And at halftime, our score is Phoebus 26 and Hampton 7. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Back here at Darling Stadium, our score at halftime, as you see, the Phantoms 26 and the Crabbers 7. In the first half, Hampton rushed the ball 12 times for 42 yards. Their leading rusher was Alvin Banks, who carried 8 times for 37. Stephen Wyatt passed the ball 7 times. He completed 4 for 42 yards. And Johnny Pugh was the leading receiver with 2 grabs for 23 yards. Total offense, 86 yards for the Crabbers in the first half. They had 8 first downs, 7 of them coming on the scoring drive. They fumbled the ball once and they did lose it, and they were not penalized during the first half. The only score for the Crabbers was Alvin Banks' 13-yard run that came with 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the first half. And Aaron Whitehead added the extra point. For the Phantoms, they rushed the ball 27 times for 158 yards. Travis McWright leading the way with 16 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown. Passing department, almost perfect for Ronnie Hendricks. He was 6 of 7 for 95 yards. And the total offense for the Phantoms in the first half, 200 and, well, if you, let's see, carry 1 divided by 2, Bob, your numbers don't match up too well here. 263 yards. They had 15 first downs. They fumbled the ball once, did not lose it, and they were penalized just twice for a total of 10 yards.
Well, this game has been relatively free of any flags or any infractions, Tim, which is shows good coaching and tremendous amount of determination of the young men to be focused on what they're doing.
Just to give you the rundown of who scored and how they scored in the first half, Philip Brown scored the opening touchdown for the Phantoms on a 27-yard pass from Hendricks, and the extra point try was no good. Then Hendricks himself scored on an 18-yard run, and the 2-point conversion was also no good. That came with 11:51 remaining in the half. Then with 8:04 remaining in the half, Travis McWright went in from 23 yards out, and that made it 20-0. And again, the extra point conversion this time was good on a 2-point conversion to make it 20-0. Then Xavier Adibi, scored on a 1-yard run. The extra point try was no good, and it made it 26-0 with 3:25 remaining. And then Alvin Banks added the Hampton touchdown with 1:01 to go in the half to make the score, as you know, 26-7 here with the start of the third quarter about set to get underway.
And while we got this, did you hear Scotty? Okay,
gonna get a
look at
chance
some of
to
the
see.
action from the first half.
This
is that touchdown run.
This is the 18-yarder by Ronnie Hendricks.
And while we look at that, Tim, I will remind the fans that we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams. That player receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., and they're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalter at 596-8850. The shirt comes from the Islanders Sporting Goods, and they're located in Poquoson. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
All right, the Phantoms will kick off. Barnes' kick taken at the 29-yard line by Will Jennings, and he returns it to the 32 or 33, where the Crabbers now will try and keep the momentum that they had from the first half. So just a 3-yard return by Will Jennings. So now the Crabbers, trailing by 19, will try and get the offense to be more consistent in the second half. I think that's a fair assumption that will be their goal.
And I think the time, Tim, that ball was snapped before the Wyatt was ready.
And if you're the Hampton coaches, you did not want to start the third quarter, and then they have an illegal procedure call, which was apparently the call.
Well,
First down.
So they go backwards 5 yards, just not what they wanted to do to try and get some momentum going.
first penalty of the game for them.
So it's 1st and 15. Wyatt wants to throw, and he does to McClone. There was a face mask penalty coming up because Stephen Wyatt almost had his head torn off. I believe that's going to be the call. It sure looked, yep, that's the call.
That's it.
Just as he got ready to release the ball, and I don't think it was intentional, the defender just tried to grab a hold of the quarterback, and inadvertently, or at least regardless of inadvertent or not, it was
it's an inadvertent one because they only marked off 5.
Yeah. Looked more of a serious penalty when it happened than that. See if you can see it on the replay here. Okay, well, we'll try and get that for you. So we're back to 1st and 10. We've had a penalty each way to start the third quarter. Not a good way to start. This is Alvin Banks with a huge hole, and he is going to be out across the 45-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down.
Well, that was a big hole that he caught, picked up, looked like about 12 yards.
13 yards to be exact, as they move it out to the 40, almost the 46. So Alvin Banks gets a good start to the second half. Here's the replay of that was the pass earlier. I don't know where that came from.
What did he say?
He said he promised the people, I think. Stephen Wyatt. Oh, you promised to us. Oh, okay. that was the pass where the face mask. Okay. Thank you, Scotty.
He did. You did say we'd try to get back to that, but then you just really didn't mean that, did you?
Well, I didn't know we'd get it. I wasn't sure we'd get it, but I appreciate it. See, those guys are always trying. 44-yard line after the loss of a little more than a yard. Second down and 11. Wyatt on the option, cuts it up the middle. He's got some running room. He's across midfield to about the Phoebus 49-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 5. Mark it right at the 50.
Marvin Ellis, number 8, making it stop that time. Big down for the Crabbers, Tim. They need to get enough yardage to pick up the first down, and of course Phoebus would love nothing more than make the Crabbers punt after one first down in their initial possession here in the second half.
Wyatt throws incomplete, well behind Johnny Pugh Jr., who was the intended receiver across the middle.
It looked like he was stumbling a little bit, and I don't know whether he was tripped up or what, but I think we're going to see a punt. I don't think the Crabbers can afford to turn the ball over here if they can't pick up the first down. But again, you got Darylin Fenner, number 44, who is a pretty good runner as one of the blockers, and you always can have a direct snap to him.
And it's blocked. Shadid Harris blocks the punt, and the Phantoms will have it at the 36-yard line.
Man, where did he come from? He just shot a gap or something.
Well, what happened is that the Crabbers all night long have been going on a real quick snap on the punt and quite frankly, catching the Phantoms a little bit off sync. And that time, Shadid Harris
was not off sync, was he?
No, he was there, and that was a beautiful, clean block of Aaron Whitehead's punt. So the Phantoms get it at the Hampton 37-yard line. First down. They lead by 19. Ronnie Hendricks at quarterback. He gives to a DB, and a DB works his way all the way down to the 32-yard line. Looked like he was stopped at the 35 and kept going for 3 more yards.
If you're in need of many vertical blinds that need repair, call Pearls. They're one of the very few places that repair blinds. They're at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. That's Pearls in Phoebus.
At 15 North Mallory. Stop by or see him. Second down and about 5. This is Travis McWright, and he'll get to about the 30, maybe the 29 on forward progress. Well short of a first down. It'll be third down and short. Third down and about 2 or 3. Clock moving here in the third quarter. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and the Channel 46 crew. Hope you're enjoying this contest. This game videotaped on the 23rd of November, 2001. You're watching the Eastern Regional Finals, Group AAA, Division 5. Finally got it. We had 3 takes on the opening of the show to get it right.
We finally got it right.
Couldn't spit it out. 3rd and 3, Adibi, right tackle. He's got the first down and plenty more as he is all the way down to the 15-yard line.
He looks like a bull, Tim. When he gets the ball, he doesn't try to outrun you. He tries to run over you.
15 yards on that play. They needed 3, so you might say they were overachieving on that. And watch this. He just followed good blocking inside, and he just bowled over the defender back there. That was number 12, Travis Richmond, who just couldn't. You're not going to tackle a DB up around the shoulders. You've got to take out his pins. So it's a first down at the Hampton 15. Phoebus trying to add to their 19-point lead. Hendricks will throw after the fake. This is Shadeed Harris. Touchdown.
What a nice call, Tim. They're looking for the run, and you just fake that run and send big O Shadeed, and you give the big guy a lollipop. He's the one that started this drive by blocking the punt, and you reward the young man.
Watch this replay. The fake to a DB, and then just a quick look in, and Shadeed Harris made no mistake about it. The big guy rambles in for the touchdown, and it's 32-7. The kick is wide to the left. And that time, Mickle just again hooked it to the left. So he's had kind of a tough night tonight, but
he's the only one.
Right now it's of no major consequence because the offense for the Phantoms is in sync. They are rolling. Here's the touchdown pass again to Shadeed. Just a quick look. Shadeed Harris from the tight end position just down the field, wide open.
Nobody picked him up, Tim.
Nice work, guys. That was excellent camera work. That showed that play as well as you can show it.
I tell you, I got to take my hat off to Mike Nowinski. He's doing a great job on that replay. I don't know how many times he's done it, but that's doing a great job, Mike.
That time, 4 plays is all it took. 37 yards, $1:39 on the clock. And the Crabbers are in a deeper hole than before. Oh, Will Jennings is nailed.
Straightened up.
Nailed him at the 30. He falls forward to the 31, but that's where the Crabbers will have it, and Jennings is up and okay.
Tim, one of the things that Bill D stresses, and all the coaches do this, they stress teamwork. And one of the things that he has on his the wall down there when the players go into the dressing room, it says teamwork. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. And they are working together tonight. Watch this hit right there.
Ooh. Stood him up. Wyatt on the draw play, and he is out to the 39-yard line. Quarterback draw. Picks up about 8. That's what Wyatt does so well, but the Phantoms, other than the scoring drive, have been able to keep him under control.
Sure have. That was Jeremy Blunt, number 10, and Jason Hall, number 11, combining to make the stop that time, but not after he picked up a good 8 yards. Stephen Wyatt is always a dangerous runner.
Second down and 2. Wyatt wants to throw. He does. He's got The pass to Johnny Pugh Jr. in Phoebus territory at the 49. That'll be another first down.
And what a nice job of running after to catch the ball, because he was hit just as he caught the ball and he kept on going. Impressed with Johnny Pugh Jr. doing a great job tonight.
He'll mark his progress to the 50. Watch the replay here. This good protection. Pugh in traffic.
But you see where he got hit when he caught the ball, and he just kept right on going.
So a first down at midfield for the Crabbers. 7:25 and the clock moving here in the third quarter. The rain has held off, we're happy to say. Alvin Banks, no gain.
Well, that was a pitch, and what Hampton will do off of that play, Tim, they'll fake the pitch, and Wyatt will keep the ball. But that pitch did not fool the Crabbers. The defense of the Phantoms.
McWright and Adibi made the stop.
And that's Quincy McWright.
So no gain, second down and 10. Crabbers trail 32-7. Hampton trying to avoid being beaten by the Phantoms for a second time in the same season, something that's never happened before. Wyatt keeps for about 3 to the 47-yard line. Third down and 7 for the Crabbers. Single elimination now. This game will determine the Eastern Regional Champion. If you joined us late, the victor of this game will travel to Northern Region next Saturday afternoon, the 1st of December, for the state semifinals of Division 5. Out of the shotgun, Wyatt, and he is stopped for a loss. In on the play, 85, Travis Quidera, as he makes the stop for a loss all the way back to the Hampton side of midfield. And that'll bring up fourth down and a long 10. And out will come the kicking team. And you recall last time they were out there, Shadid Harris blocked the punt. You know they'll do a better job of blocking, or at least try to do a better job. Aaron Whitehead standing back about 12 yards, got it away. This is a nice looking spiral all the way back to the 14-yard line. That's Philip Brown on the receiving end, and he'll get out to about the 18.
Well, great coverage on the special teams by the Crabbers that time. Never gave Philip Brown an alley to go, and I believe that's about the worst field possession that the Phantoms have had when they've had the ball tonight. Watch this. Catches it over his shoulder and then just nowhere to go.
Excellent pursuit by the Hampton special teams, rather. So the Phantoms now 82 yards away from the end zone, leading 32-7. They'll want to grind this ball out if they can, and the Crabbers are waiting for that play, and that will be no gain or a short gain at best. One of the few times McWright has not gotten a good gain. That will be almost 2, so the forward progress marks him at about the 20.
Well, if you look, the Hampton has 9 men up on the line of scrimmage or within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Near side, McWright, and he is across the 27-yard line.
Tim, he was really putting on the Jets that time. You can see him coming right at us, really running hard.
And he has done some serious damage on the left defensive side of the Hampton line. That's where he's had his most success tonight, or conversely, running off of his right side. So it's third down and a long yard, almost 2 for the Phantoms. A crucial third down for the Crabbers as they try to get their 12th man off the field, and they do successfully get the correct number on there. And the DB.
And if you want 1 yard, who do you give it to, right?
Xavier Adibi gets you 5 when you need 1, and that's not too shabby.
Well, look at the big guy going down, the big number 74 leading the way, Floyd Braxton, Tim, 6'1", 295, and I bet he's not 295 after Turkey Day.
So the Phantoms move the chains as they mark the ball at the Phoebus 34-yard line. And this is a DB again, and a DB picks up 7 yards. All the way out to almost the 47, almost got 8 yards. If you're Bill D, you just got to be thrilled right now because the clock is running, you're moving the ball on the ground, you're getting positive yardage, and if you can wear about 7-8 minutes off the clock right now and put it in the end zone, you can call this one history.
And add to that equation one missed pass, only one incomplete pass tonight.
Yep. A DB breaks into the open as he crosses midfield to the Hampton 47-yard line. Another first down. They just don't have a defense for that play. $11 yards on the play for Xavier Adibi. Watch the replay. He's just
amazing.
Well, the offensive line is just making huge holes. Look at that. You give the ball to a running back like a DB, and he'll hurt you for 11 yards.
And you see what he does when he's going through the attempt. He's really got that ball wrapped up tight.
Good, smart ball carry. This is Travis McWright, the yin and yang, if you will, of the
the yin and yang.
This is the speedster, and, of course, the DB's showing some good speed along with power. That picks up almost 4. And now the time is starting to become a factor to hit the 2:32 mark of the third quarter. Hampton down 32-7, at risk of seeing their season end tonight. Hendricks gives to a DB, and a DB close to another first down.
Now that's close. Eagle Eye, do you think he's just a little short?
Can't see the spot yet.
There's our stadium workers tonight, Big John and the white hat doing the pointing up to us. Jim Haley down there.
Third down and less than a yard. Didn't even have to measure for that one. The Phantoms quarterback keeper got it. Another first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily while they'll move the chains. There's our mobile cable technician.
That's Desiree.
That's right. Got to keep her strength up. Got to have a snack there. Can you bring some of that up to us?
Yeah. What if you went over to Zooms and picked that up?
Well, I wish someone would. Want to remind you as they move the chains here that Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager Nancy Staten is in charge there. They're conveniently located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of their facility, give them a call or stop by. Call them at 827-4670. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home bringing you part of this contest tonight. First down again. A DB up the middle, and he's got another first down at the 21-yard line. Gain of 11. They have just worn down.
He's been a workhorse about the whole time.
They are wearing down that defense of Hampton. Those guys are breathing hard.
You notice where he's running on the left side of the offensive line, as opposed to where you were saying a minute ago that that McWright was running off the right side. So they don't, okay, I'll take the left, you take the right.
And a DB again, and again a first down, and a late flag comes down. The DB before that carry had carried 10 times for 71 yards. When you average, when you're averaging 7 yards a carry, you're going to do a lot of damage. That is a holding call against the Crabbers.
Yeah.
But DB watch the replay. Maybe you can pick it up. But there's a DB again. That was the previous play. Not the most recent play, but it was the previous play.
Well, they look the same.
So the penalty will give a first and goal to the Phantoms at the 7-yard line.
Said James Madison right now is leading that game against Mount Vernon. So if that continues, then that's who the opponent of the winner here will play.
So it's first and goal at about the 4. Who else? A DB. And he's in for the score.
They just have not been able to stop that play this whole drive, Tim. And they started to, I think, what was about the 18, wasn't it? So we're talking a
82 yards.
82-yard drive, and the bulk of the yardage picked up had to be by Adibi. Maybe Bob's got how much he paid. As we watched the replay of the touchdown.
Before that play, Adibi had 11 carries for 81 yards. So he's got 12 carries for 85 yards now. And he's got a second touchdown in the ballgame. 12 carries, 86 to be exact. And now Jason Mickle is back on track. So 52 seconds remaining in the third. It is Hampton trailing now 39-7. Eleven plays, 82 yards.
A little over 4 minutes.
Yep.
But we'll get the exact time in just a second.
Watch the repeat of the touchdown by Adibi. Thank you, sir. You've gotten a lot of exercise tonight. 82 yards, 11 carries, 11 plays, 4:26 off the clock. And that's just as perfect as Bill D could have asked for.
Yeah, because if you can keep the ball for 5 minutes and score, but Tim, they have scored every time they've had the ball, except towards the end of the last half, and they didn't try.
Again, the short kick, and this one's fumbled, finally picked up by the Crabbers. They had it loose for a moment. That's Greg Taylor, who recovers for Hampton. And that kick is effective.
Close.
Well, it was very close. And that kick is very effective because you've got people who aren't necessarily used to fielding the ball, and they're not necessarily expecting it. Watch this replay. I'll show you what we're talking about. This is just kind of a pooch kick. And right here, two of the Crabbers.
Oh, that's number 7, Tim, DJ Parker, that dove in and almost got the ball.
But they keep it in Hampton's hands. They'll have it just short of the 25-yard line with half a minute, actually less than a half a minute remaining in the third quarter. And it's Phoebus comfortably on top, 39-7. Over the middle, intended for Andre McClone, thrown well behind him.
A lot of pressure that time on Stephen Wyatt.
Going to have a little special treat for you right now, or between the quarters? Okay, here we go.
Don't touch that dial. You're watching the Phoebus Phantoms whoop up on the Crabbers on WACS.
Second down and 10.
Oh, nice screen.
That's Pugh, Johnny Pugh Jr., and he has enough for a first down out to the Hampton 43-yard line. We couldn't hear the script. What did they say, Scotty?
Oh, we didn't hear that.
Well, we didn't hear, but we want the viewers who are Hampton fans to know we didn't give them that script. They said you're watching the Phoebus fans and whoop up on the Hampton Crackers.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
So we have played 3, and it's been all Phoebus. They led 26-7 at halftime, and they've added to that lead. They lead 39-7 going into the fourth quarter. Well, the plan is that next Saturday, the 1st of December, God willing and the creek doesn't rise, we will be headed up north to give coverage to the Phoebus Phantoms, barring a miracle comeback by the Crabbers here. And they will take on the winner of James Madison and who was the other team?
Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
And right now, Madison is leading. I didn't catch the score, but it's like 12-0 or something, I think. Maybe a couple scores.
But that's right. Scotty reminded us that James Madison came down here, played at Darling Stadium against Ronald Curry, and I believe it was 96. And they shellacked James Madison, 70. It was so bad. It was 70 to nothing, 70 to 7, something like that. It was. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, they have long memories up there at JMU, James Madison University, but I'm talking about James Madison High School.
Well, good job that time, Tim, by Travis Credera.
So, a sack.
I'm sorry, that's not Credera, that's Micah Littlejohn, number 85, Tim. We've got it messed up in here. He has been all over the backfield tonight, made numerous tackles.
We're going to have to roll the tape back and make our corrections. So Micah Littlejohn wearing a 85 jersey, and that doesn't match up.
And he has been, and I just haven't been able to pick it up because I got him as 78.
Wyatt eludes the tackle, and he is chased down by a great effort by number 12, Mike Dixon. Boy, did Dixon show some speed. We're having some difficulty. Scotty's speaking to us, but I'm sorry, I could not make out what he said. Here's the replay. That's what he was.
James Madison now trails the 6-4 Mount Vernon Majors by a score of 21-6. The winner of this game will travel to play the winner of that game.
Well, we've had an update, and they took points away from James Madison. Now it sounds like Madison is losing.
That game now in the fourth quarter.
Back to this game, and what fumble.
Well, I think everybody moved, but the center didn't snap the ball.
Fumble and flags down, so we'll let referee Turlington unravel this one for us. So no fumble. Illegal procedure is the call against Hampton.
I've got illegal procedure against them. Huh?
Against them. Like,
I love it.
there's Miss
You're going to
Bowers.
decline it? Okay, they can.
Keeping her camera and herself rain-free here. We haven't had any rain for the most part here in the second half, and we're thankful for that. And I told Braxton it wasn't going to rain. So.
They picked up a 2-point conversion. They trailed at Thomasdale Heights now midway through the fourth by a point.
Bill Nettles does a great job on the PA system for these games. And he's giving these scores for some of these schools that I know 99.999% of the people in these stands could care less.
He's giving the scores for the Division 6, and they don't give a hoot about Division 6 because we're not in Division 6.
And he's giving scores for Group 2A, and I've heard some teams I'm not even sure I can pronounce. But he's got his stuff together.
No, he does that.
So it's 4th down and 14, and the Crabbers now at the very last second. Well, there is some confusion because now they do appear to be bringing out the kicking team. But you're down.
I think they didn't know it was going to be 4th down. They thought that was.
Well, they've got the marker on the near sideline here says 3rd down.
Well, but see, if that wasn't a play, you just mark it off and you run that play again. But evidently there was.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, White. Still 4th down.
So it's still 4th down, so that is correct. So Aaron Whitehead will be on to punt the ball, and Phillip Brown will be back to receive. Momentary stoppage of play here while they get everything squared away. Low snap. Whitehead gets the kick away, and again a short kick. High and short, and again, he hits that thing like you do your 9-iron. That ball comes back 8 to 10 yards.
I hit a 11 wood. I've got that I can hit about 150 yards, Tim, and I hit that thing into 2 greens today, and it backed up. So I can't get that kind of action for my 9-iron.
Just a 10-yard punt for Aaron Whitehead. He's just had a really tough night. There is a bit of a breeze in his face now, so we'll give him the benefit of that. But Crabbers might as well have gone for it in hindsight.
Yeah, really.
But you don't know that. All right, here it is at the Hampton 40, and a DB who's just been a terror here in the second half. Picks up a dozen and a first down.
Well, if you Bill D, if they can't stop it, you run it until they stop it, and they're not stopping Adibi. He's running over the left side of that offensive line, and boom.
Here's the replay. Just a huge hole. And they're just not getting the safeties are making the tackles, and you and I have talked about that before. That's not a good thing. 12 on the play, 1st and 10, inside the 28-yard line.
Adibi's got to be getting tired, Tim.
Well, he plays defense and offense, and he does a great job on both sides of the ball, but you know this is a good tired he's feeling right now.
Yeah.
Pickup of about 6 on the play. So that gives him over 100 yards now. He's got 104.
So we got two running backs with over 100 yards,
yes,
right?
sir. Something you don't do very often against a Hampton team. This is McWright, the other young man with over 100 yards, and he'll get maybe a half a yard on that play. It brings up 3rd down, one of the rare times recently that the Phantoms have been slowed down on offense. Clock moving with a little more than 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Well, Adibi comes out, takes a breather, Tim, and number 12, Mike Dixon, goes in his place. They're in a, looks like a pass formation, 2 tight ends and almost like a wing back and a split receiver.
And a pass over the middle intended for Harris goes incomplete. So that'll bring up a 4th down and about 4. That stops the clock with exactly 8 minutes remaining in the ball game.
I'm going to go out on the line here, Tim. I think it's the first time that the Phantoms have been at a 4th down situation today.
I haven't seen him punt, so you're probably right. Watch the replay. Hendricks in the ball game now, 110 yards passing. So you got 2 runners with over 100 yards, and you've passed for over 100 yards. Let me see. That means you've got over 300 yards on offense. At 253 at half. This one's picked off. This one is going to be run back. McWright's got an angle on him, and he will slow him down, but he's finally taken down. And that's the first mistake of the ball game for the Phantoms, and really the first. Only the second time the Crabbers fans have had a good reason to cheer.
Well, and Hendricks tried to force that ball in there, Tim.
That was intercepted by Claysell Brown, number 15.
Claysell Brown, nice run back as you watch the replay. But right here, Tim, he threw the ball, and Claysell Brown was the only one that had a beat on it.
That's 40 yards to midfield.
It was a 61-yard
61-yard return on the interception by Claysell. So the Crabbers have a breath still in them as Banks gets the call.
If you're looking for floor covering, whether it's carpet, tile, or vinyl, call Pearls and Phoebus at 722-1907 for free estimates. They are located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus, and they are the authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealers. John West is president, Rita Barker is vice president. There's a good shot of our buddy Fendolf Taylor.
Well, you see what he's got. He's got the Eastern Regional Trophy.
But he don't have any food for us.
No. We'll talk to him. 2nd down and about 6 for the Crabbers. On the quarterback draw, Wyatt, who's been held in check for the entire evening, he gets across the 15 to about the 14 and a half. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about, well, let's call it 3. And that trophy.
Some of my keys tonight for Phantoms, Tim, was contain Wyatt, which they've done. Play good pass defense. They've done that pretty well. Continue to control the line of scrimmage. They've done. Made maybe only a couple of mental mistakes. And they kept the ball out of the Hampton Crabbers by ball control.
They did it all. They have an official stoppage for equipment. 6:12 left, and the clock is restarted. 3rd down and 3 for the Crabbers. They trailed 39-7. Got to be a shocker. Stephen Wyatt will score. So Stephen Wyatt with a real fine move
Nice job that time by avoiding a couple of would-be tacklers.
14-yard touchdown run by Wyatt. But unfortunately for Hampton, just a little too little and a little too late. Crabbers will be, watch the replay here, you'll see the effort by Wyatt.
A nice block by Solomon Bassett.
Well, he did a good job of faking too. That was a beautiful move. Going for 2, and a flip pass into the end zone is caught to give the Crabbers the 2-point conversion. That was
that number 5, it looked like. I'm not sure. Was
Andre McClone.
Just got a glimpse of the numbers.
So the Crabbers get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to make the difference now 24 points, 39-15.
Here's the score again. And watch the block right there by Solomon Bassett, and then the great move to get into the end zone. Kind of look for an onside kick here. Your Hampton, your defense has not been able to stop, especially the running game, to any consistency. So you try to get the ball back real quick.
21 yards, just 3 plays in minute 42 for the Crabbers to score.
This game was the worst game.
So you've got to expect the onside kick coming here. And that's what they get. And it's taken by Shadeed Harris.
And he's got good hands.
He's a big guy.
And he's a big guy.
Big guy, 6'5", 280. So the Phantoms are able to control the onside kick, so they've got the ball right at midfield. And they'll be in no hurry to do anything but wear the clock as you see it on your screen. Wear it down, and they'll crank the clock here and get it started with 5:50, and the clock is moving. Hand off right into the middle.
And that's one of the few times the DB didn't pick up 2 or 3 or 4 yards.
Well, he might just be tired, as you said. He has certainly been used extensively tonight. They get 2. All Phoebus wants to do at this point is wrap this game up, get out of here without anybody getting hurt in the last 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Again, not much happening there. A DB gets the call again. So they'll bring up 3rd down and about 8. On the option play, Hendricks keeps it. Flag is down. Hendricks still running inside the Hampton 30-yard line. But a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage might wipe out this play.
And that's what they're calling holding, Tim.
It's gotten a little chilly here, Bob. I think I might just have to stop on my way home at our good friends Zoom's, get some, as you watch the replay here, some nice hot fried chicken.
I've got holding, blue, still 3rd down.
Maybe
nice run, though, by Hendricks. All for naught, but
maybe a cup of Beantown coffee.
Oh, yeah, you want to pick up some potato wedges and
well, I could
chicken?
go. I
don't know if you want chicken after you had all the turkey.
No,
but,
no.
A sub.
I'm thinking a sub. Nice
ham and cheese sub.
Ham and cheese sub. Lots of good stuff on it. Zooms with 14 convenient locations. So the penalty negates the fine effort by Ronnie Hendricks, and it moves the ball back to the Phoebus 43. It's 3rd down and long. And
look at that reverse.
Phillip Brown racing to the corner, and he'll be for the touchdown.
Whoa! What a call, and what a fake by Ronnie Hendricks. And all the defense, everybody went to the right side that time, Tim. Well, what was it, about 57?
57 yards.
We got to have that on replay. I swear the offensive line went to the right also.
Well, it looked like the Crabbers might have the angle on him, and Philip Brown showed what great speed he does have, as Jason Mickle is unceremoniously knocked to the ground after kicking the extra point. That will probably be assessed on the kickoff.
Jason Nichols, extra point out of the hole of 33. 34, Greg Narvin is good.
All right, here's the very end of the play, and Brown did a good job to avoid being tackled before he got to the end zone. The Phantoms sideline coaches are very upset. They feel that Mickle was roughed intentionally.
Turlington turned over, looked this way, and motioned the roughing the kicker call.
And they've called unsportsmanlike against the Phantoms.
Well, I'm sure that's because the coach was out on the field.
Well, there was a flag down for the roughing the kicker. Well, it may have been running into, but I'm not sure. No, he didn't explain that one. As you see referee Turlington in your picture, we're not sure exactly how that's going to play out. Well, the plays are getting briefer and briefer. 51 yards, 3 plays, $1.57 was the time used. Penalty against each team, apparently. Here's the.
Now, see, everybody is going to that side. Oh no, this is Hampton's touchdown. Okay, that's what he said. Hampton's touchdown. Why don't I want to see the other ones, Scotty?
The return on for the Crabbers. A nice return by, and I don't have a number 82 for Hampton. Unfortunately, it might have been a player from the JV squad that came out. Now some frustrations getting loose as a penalty flag down on the far sideline, and the teams are separated. Must be a JV player, apparently, 82. So the officials are there to separate them. These two teams have never been great fans of each other, and the coaches neither. But this has got to be very disappointing for Hampton. They have great pride.
Well, Bill D is going to call timeout, Tim. He's going to bring his team over, and he's going to talk to him. He said, listen, fellas, we don't want any extracurricular activity because you get thrown out of this game. That means you cannot play in the next game.
That's right.
Let's don't do anything stupid here. Now we got the penalty evidently assessed after the player ran out of bounds, and I'm assuming it's a personal foul.
It's against Hampton. So the Phantoms call a timeout. We have a player of the game to announce for
Tim,
each of these.
If you look at the Phantoms and you say, you got a DB who's run over 100 yards, you got McKnight who's run over 100 yards, you've got McWright who's run over 100, you've got Brown who has run a long one and caught a touchdown pass, you've got Hendricks has done a great job. But Tim, I want to do something a little different tonight because it's going to be hard to pick that players. I'm going to look on the defensive side of the ball and pick a couple of players from each one of these teams. Number one, I'm going to go with Micah Littlejohn for the Phoebus Phantoms, and Stephen Williams, who's had a great year and a great 4 years at Hampton High School as the player of the game for the Crabbers tonight. That's Stephen Williams, number 70, and Michael Littlejohn, number 85.
Got a loose ball, fumble. This is Marlon Ellis, who's come up with a loose pigskin, and let's see if they rule a fumble down. And there is a penalty flag down. This all coming with 3:39 left in the ball game. It is a fumble.
Ragged, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, the concentration has been lost here with a 46-15 score. Watch the replay here, see if you can see how the fumble occurs.
Oh, yeah, you see the ball pop out right there.
And then Marlon Ellis there to see. Ellis picks it up and runs it back. And he's gang tackled, but not until he's got clear possession of it. So now the Phantoms will call another timeout, apparently. Prolonging the inevitable is all. But we understand that the James Madison High School, I called them JMU a while ago, was trailing 21-6 to the team, and the team they were playing had a 6-4 record.
Yeah, they were 5-4. They were number 4 seed. They upset the number 1 seed Yorktown, and now if they beat James Madison, they were the number 2 seed. That's a big feather in their hat. So you got a team coming in here who is really hungry.
Well, you know, and we don't know anything about either of those schools, but the one thing you have to think is, you know, you could lose a couple of games early in the season. You might have had a key player injured, and they might be a whole different ball club at 6-4. They might have lost 2 or 3 close games early in the season, and they might be 6-1 in their last 7 games.
Yeah, and you don't know that how bad those losses were and to who they were.
In any event, the Phantoms do have the ball back, and now DJ Parker is your quarterback. So Bill D taking no chances with his starting backfield, as he has also in the backfield number 38.
38 is
Lewis.
Elan Lewis.
Yeah, I got it right here.
You got him?
Got it. So he picks up 2 yards, does Mr. Lewis.
Well, he's brought up.
He's just a freshman.
Mostly JVs, I think.
He's just a freshman. He ran last week late in the game and had some fine efforts. So 2nd down and 8. Neither of the running backs that started the game are in there. Now this is Lewis again. Mike Dixon is the other running back right now. And DJ Parker is the quarterback, as McWright and Adibi and Hendricks are on the sideline. And Bill D wants to make sure they get a nice escort home to make sure nothing happens to those young men. No gain on the play, so it's 3rd down and 8. And again, the Phantoms not worried about doing anything right now except wearing that clock out. They'd love to get a 1st down.
Well, they got Michael Littlejohn playing tight end.
Jennison Jenkins lines up to the right side. This is DJ Parker on the keeper, and he'll get the 1st down, and that's exactly what the Phantoms wanted. That'll give him a fresh set of downs at the Hampton 30-yard line with 2:12 on the clock.
You want to keep that clock running.
It's a gain of a little more than 10 by Parker. And we'll see the replay. Watch DJ Parker working out of the quarterback position. This is a straight keeper from the get-go. He took a pretty good lick there at the end, but not until he got a 1st down. Clock moving as we are inside of 2 minutes remaining, and the Phantoms of Phoebus will be your Eastern Regional Champions. This is Lewis, and he is stopped for no gain. Crabbers playing hard right till the finish.
Well, there's pride. They've got a lot of pride, Tim. They've only had 1 loss this year, and it's been to this same Phoebus Phantom team.
This will be the first time Phoebus has ever beaten Hampton twice in one season. Lewis, and there's a whistle stopping the play before the ball was snapped.
They may have called timeout because there was a crabber that had not gotten off the field yet, so maybe that's what the call was. Oh, that's the illegal substitution.
And that's what you called it correctly. They apparently did not get that 12th man off the field.
Dead ball, illegal substitution, White, still second down.
He used to call that when I played, too many men on the field.
Yeah.
That was illegal substitution.
Well, they also had those
what?
leather helmets when you played too, right?
That's true. When I started, I had a leather helmet.
2nd and 5 after the mark-off as we are approaching the 1-minute mark. And this is Lewis again, and he is stopped short of the first down. But we are down under a minute now. So the Phantoms will travel to either play James Madison or and again, for some reason, a mental block on another team.
You have Mount Vernon. You have a little mental block for Mount Vernon?
I do. 3rd down and a yard to go. It looks like he did not get it, but they won't have to run another play because it'll be inside of 25 seconds when the ball is marked down and set to go. It'll be 4th down and a foot. But neither team will be in any hurry or inclination to stop the clock. So, players of the game, Stephen Williams of Hampton and Micah Littlejohn of the Phantoms. And the Phoebus Phantoms are your Eastern Regional Division 5 champions.
Division 5 for the Eastern Regional, the FIBA Panther by a score of 36-13.
I think the score is a surprise that they beat Hampton so soundly. I don't think a lot of people are surprised that Phoebus won. They've been the dominant team this year on the Peninsula District, but the final score might be a surprise.
Yeah, I think that there was a lot of people thinking, well, they're going to win by a touchdown, 10 points, or, something like that, a couple touchdowns, but they just never felt that they would beat them, the Crabbers, this bad. And again, it was they controlled the line of scrimmage, Tim. The running game was working well, and then therefore the first few minutes it was like only one incompleted pass by Hendrick. So everything was working. You firing on all cylinders.
Tonight's contest brought to you by Zooms, with 14 friendly neighborhood stores to serve you. Brought to you by Pearls. Pearls located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. And this game brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the director. Give them a call at 827-4670. All right, the final score again was Phoebus 46 and Hampton 15. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and the entire Channel 46 crew, thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.